Anomalisa is a new stop-motion animated movie by Duke Johnson and Charlie Kaufman. It's about a British man who seems to be bored of life, and he sees everyone as the same person. You start to notice this in the beginning of the film when you start to hear that everyone's voice besides his is the same. Eventually, he hears a new voice in the hallway of the hotel he's staying at, and he goes to find her and becomes infatuated with her. Because it's something new, it's something that he hasn't experienced. Now, Charlie Kaufman you might know from Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, which is a great movie, and Duke Johnson has done stuff like Moral Oral, which is probably one of the best things that Adult Swim has ever put out. Now, I really like this film. It's very personal and very relatable. And one thing I really like about it that makes it more personal is the fact that there's almost always one setting in these kinds of films. But that's also kind of a gripe too, because it's just one setting. But since it's one setting, you become more familiar with it and you become more attached to it. And the setting in this is the hotel. And I'm sure everybody has felt this way about humanity at one point or another, where everything seems to be the same. Or you have those days where you're like, oh, it's just the same old shit. I was looking at comments about this movie and I saw one that just linked Fergoli's delusion on Wikipedia, which is a disorder where someone will see everybody as the same person. Apparently that is an actual thing. Like, not literally the same person, but it's hard to differentiate everybody. Which I know the film wasn't trying to be about a disorder, it's more about like the message of, you know, sometimes everything is the same. But it's not directly saying that, it's also saying that sometimes people can be very jaded, like our main character. So it's not making him out to be the good guy, he's also kinda bad, where the way he sees life has made it worse for other people. Now, I see some people dismissing this movie because of a couple of reasons. The first reason is, oh great, another white male angst movie. Which, I get what you're trying to say, but that doesn't mean that it can't be relatable. His situation or outlook isn't really tied to his race or his sex. That's just one thing people are saying to dismiss the movie, but the other thing I think is a lot worse. The worst thing that people are saying to dismiss the movie is the fact that it's animated. But actually, this movie works a lot better as an animation. Mainly because you can actually see that he sees everybody as the same person, and you can hear it too. I mean, you could do the audio thing with a live action movie, but the fact that everybody's face looks the same also really ups the ante. Apparently they used a 3D printer to print out all the faces. And the animation at first looks kinda weird, but you get used to it very quickly. It's mainly because of the line right by the eyes, but it never really gets too distracting. There is a very awkward sex scene in the movie, but it's meant to be awkward sex, so, in a way, it's the most realistic sex scene I've ever seen in the movie, and it's animated. It's very weird, because it's like, this is very realistic sex, but it's animated. I mean, the movie is rated R, so there's that. But still, it almost felt like amateur porn, it was weird. Anyway, that's what I thought of Anomalisa. Right now, it's a very limited release. It doesn't really get a much wider release until March, but if you have seen it, tell me what you thought in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'd like to give thanks to my patrons this month. Thank you so much for supporting me. It really helps out a lot. And if you'd like to support me, click the annotation for the Patreon link. And if you want more movie reviews, click the playlist. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.